Alright, now that the faffing about is somewhat complete, what's the plan for today, chaps?
Bro, I don't know. I just had a whole ass adventure. Where are we going next?
Well, and you
I'm back
feeling
to limits.
feisty? You want to get some magical items? Do you want to get some money? You want to go steal some people? We made a slave last time. Timothy, have you met Timothy? Timothy, where are you, darling?
You left him in that world, remember?
Yeah, he's in the hell world.
What happened?
I left him there to
Yep.
die.
She's gonna take a glance around and like,
I'm gonna look at Syra like, you fucking serious?
The portal that he went through is in a different room than where Kane was. He's still in the first room.
alright, I'll just leave him there for now. We'll get him later.
I'm gonna look at it like, bring him out
Are you gonna go through the ditch?
now.
Alright.
Bring him out now.
Alright. She's gonna close the portal and then open it back up to Timothy.
Timothy walks through the portal. He does not appear to have walked through the laser beams of penises. However, he is still eating the loaf of bread, and his arms are still stuck in an outstretched position.
I'm gonna just guide him towards the cot. Let's
All
go.
right, you bring him inside. He lies down on the cot and chews up the rest of his bread. At the same time, his arms are still locked in an upright position, so he's lying on his back, so they're sticking straight up in the air. He then proceeds to fall asleep after a few moments.
Syra's gonna come in and tuck him in and leave one of her hands behind.
You come in, you tuck him in. crawl.
There, don't worry. Nothing's gonna harm you. I'll be watching you throughout your entire time sleeping. And she just pulls one of her arms back and the hand remains there and the bones crack and twist and turn into a spider monster with an eyeball coming out of the middle finger. And it just
don't-
sits on his chest.
Do I see this?
You didn't say you left the room, so yes.
I'm gonna wait till Syra leaves, and then I'm gonna quickly snag the arm, just throw it in my freaking bag of holding.
She can see that, yeah. She has telepathic
That's fine.
links through it.
I'll let it happen.
So you quickly stow away the spider hand because you want Timothy to actually, rest instead of just being terrified for his life and on the verge of a heart attack. So he goes to sleep. We don't know when he's going to wake up, but he should wake up at some point. Now, the rest of you are outside, so you can decide what you want to do. More fuckery, or you also have missions if you'd like to try any.
I say that we go and get some more money, because I like money.
That's always your choice. I don't think that really counts. Kermit, darling, do you feel like you want something? Do you want to go do something? Is there anything in particular?
I'm just gonna lean into Kermit, just gaze at him. Oh yeah, let's go show some money. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Hell yeah.
It's just Curtis, behind him, just shaking his shoulders, talking for him. Alright, I guess
He's
that
done.
answers my question.
I'm gonna spit on Timothy.
Thank you!
I'm gonna slap Kermit.
You're not in there right now, so Kate, if you want to go do that, roll stealth. Alright, 23. Cham, I'm going to have you roll a listen check to counter that. You have to beat a 23. Okay, you do not hear him. Kane, you're inside. You walk off to Timothy as he's sleeping. Are you going to spit on anything specifically?
His face.
Okay, roll dexterity to spit on his face. That's an 11. Alright, you kind of just do, because you don't really have lips, since you're a frog, you sort of just, spew saliva, all over him, on the upper part of his body. He's so tired that he doesn't wake up from this.
Alright, I'm gonna drop my pants and just lean my butt cheeks over him, then just drop a duke right on his face.
Alright, roll Constitution to see how horrible this is. I swear to God, if this is...
Come on, nat 20.
Alright, so you drop a few little frog turds on his face. I'm rolling for him to see if he wakes up. He does not wake up from that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave now.
Okay, you leave, his face covered in shit and his and saliva.
Yep.
Alright, so you leave. So you guys are now all outside after doing horrible things to Timothy.
Kinda deserved it.
Right?
I'm gonna lean and he is our driver.
Well, technically, you also know how to drive it, and Zyra.
Yes, we both can drive the damn thing. Why are you I don't understand.
Let's leave the poor guy alone. For
No,
fuck's sake.
I refuse. That's not going to happen.
You could also play with the one that you've had tied to the terrace
Exactly, you
for
got that one.
2
What the
months,
fuck?
a month now.
He's not as intact. He's not as fun.
There was a lot more screaming involved with him.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think, Draylock gets off on it, and I'm not really into that.
I am, but only when I'm on the receiving end.
Do you want to be tied up?
Not by you, but...
After you've said that, Gregor pokes his head out from behind Syra, and he has some rope with him.
Gregor, get the fuck away from me.
He looks down on the ground with sadness and walks away.
Gregor, come back.
He comes back.
Let's get Kermit time up.
Really, sir?
Yes, let's go, buddy.
Oh, goody.
I point my gun at Gregor. Gregor, I swear to God, if you take one more step, I'm gonna paint the sidewalk red.
What's a sidewalk?
It's the road.
We don't have roads. What was that one for, Jam?
Well, while he's dealing with him, I'm gonna go up behind him.
That was a sneak roll?
Yep.
Okay, Kane, can you beat a 33 with a listen check?
No.
All right, so he's going to do that regardless. So, Cham, you sneak up behind him.
And I'm gonna grapple him to the floor.
Roll a grapple check. Kane, you're going to have to roll a grapple check to resist. That's a nat 20, Kane, unless you can roll a nat 20 to counter him.
No.
No, okay. All right, so he successfully grapples you, so you have him held down.
Quick, tie him.
Right away, sir! All right, Gregor comes over, and he quickly takes away Kane's gun and then starts binding his hands and his feet. Oh, that was almost a 19.
Can I try
All
this?
right, Kane, because he rolled a 1, he's in a very bad position right now. I'm going to give you a chance to use a bashing attack with your foot.
Do I get any special modifiers, or is it just a standard D20?
Because you're just kicking him with your foot, it would just be your
Strength.
All right, I'm going to roll for Gregor to see if he reacts in time. Oh, he rolled a nat 20. He does. He quickly backs out of the way. So he's
That
gonna
was
get
a
another
sudden
chance.
shift and turn.
Yeah, so he's going to get another chance to try and tie your legs and feet. All right, this time he is going to be able to tie your legs and feet. Kane, you're now tied up.
Gregor, I swear to God, once I get untied, I'm literally going to throw you off of a cliff.
Wouldn't be the first time, Governor.
It's going to be the last time, I swear to fucking Christ, I promise. We'll make you a zombie slave.
I'm gonna have Gregor help me put him in front of the carriage.
Okay, you're going to move him in front of the carriage. Okay, so...
Tie him to the front of the carriage outside.
Okay, well, he can't really do anything to resist you, so... You guys bring him over there, and Gregor props him up while you make the tying, so you're going to have to roll to tie him. He is going to be struggling at the same time. So, Kane, I'm going to have you roll a strength check to try and crack your bindings. And, Champ, I'm going to have you roll a dex check to tie him. If you beat his strength roll...
All right, shitty rolls.
I mean, yeah, the modifier is the difference there, but... All right, so, Kane, he ties you to the front of the wagon. You are now a hood ornament.
Well, I can't really do anything, so I'm just gonna sit there and just stare at nature, I guess.
I don't know if this is a kink thing. I could help you out. I'm not with them.
So I'm gonna pull out Syra's hand from the bag holding. I'm gonna put it right like on his face.
He's aware of what her hand looks like when it goes into that spider thing, but Kane, I'm gonna have you roll a wisdom check to keep your composure. Okay, yeah, no, you're cool as a cucumber. So, Kane, what I'm gonna say happens in this, he puts the spider thing on your face, and you very quickly move your head forward and then use your tongue to punch the thing into the sand and then retract your tongue back so it's no longer sitting on you.
Hey!
Put it
what
lower
the
next time.
Shit!
I'm gonna
was
grab
gonna-
it and just toss it in his pants.
He can't stop you from doing that. Also, Arch, you're seeing everything that hand sees right now, so...
It's so fucking cold.
It's a little dark. Very
I would have
cold
never
considering
guessed he
it's
was
dead flesh.
circumcised.
Of course, it's unhealthy not to be.
All right, Syra, what do you want to do? Let's get the shit on the road.
I think we need more allies. You know, more bodies between us and the things that want to kill us.
All right.
Gregor turns around from you as he's watching, Kane get molested by Arch's hand. I got the perfect job for you lot, and it's one where you shouldn't get caught.
Now that's a very specific thing to say, Gregor.
Well, here's the point here. Have any of you ever heard of a little prison called Aquaria?
Let me roll a knowledge check.
I'm just
You
gonna
can-
yell from the front, acquire a these nuts!
Whatever you
Kane,
do.
do you also want to roll intelligence to see if you know?
No, I'm fucking tied to the hood. I'm not gonna do shit.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
All right, Arch, are you going to roll that as well, or no?
You know what? Why not? She's a learned person. She actually has a pretty fucking good knowledge of the area, usually. Would I be able to use my profession in this, which was the court advisor?
Yeah, you know what? You would be able to. I'll give you a +2. All right, 14. All right, so you don't know the specifics But, Syra, you know that Aquaria is an island prison that was built by the Nexus a long time ago. It's since been taken over by Black Scales and used as a prison for high-profile prisoners that have been taken from various areas in the Fire Sand Waste during the Black Scale invasion.
I believe it's gonna be an island party first, gentlemen. I don't know much of after the Black Scales got there, but I do know that, like, it was a pretty profound prison on an island, a la anachronistically Alcatraz, if you want to put it that way.
The fuck is an Alcatraz?
In this universe, that's actually a drink.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Why the hell do they make a prison out of a drink?
You'll find out when we get there.
Gregor also then explains that Aquaria is a prison, but there is a specific prisoner there that might be able to help them.
Anytime we release prisoners of the Black Scales, it should be beneficial.
That's true, but there is a special circumstance around this. Since you don't know the specifics, Gregor explains to you that Aquaria is a prison. Like I said, it's an island. It's basically a fortress. There's almost no way to get in. The only dock is basically a gate that goes up and down, and it's only signaled by Black Scale ships. The other thing is that the entire area around it is lined with items that are called serpent bombs, which are essentially mines.
Fantastic. All right. Gregor, one of these days you and I are going to have a nice long chat involving some pliers as to how you know all of this.
Well, you see here, there's a problem. There's only been one person to ever escape from Aquaria.
Jesus H. Christ.
And
Stop
you're
it.
looking at
Stop
and you're
it.
looking at him.
I'm just gonna do a small golf clap.
I'm just gonna go boo!
Up yours too. Gregor also explains to you that the way that he was able to escape the island is there is an underwater cavern along one of the walls that leads up into a cave that comes out in the interior of the island past the walls. Almost nobody knows about it, and the only reason why Gregor does is because he was on the island as a prisoner when he was younger, and during an escape, he accidentally found it. The person that he's talking about that might be able to help you is an old general from the Valdirian Empire.
Is his name Kickless Nage?
No, it is not. The Valdirian Empire, you all know because it was one of the other kingdoms in the south. It was the main kingdom of the Fire Sand Waste until the Black Scales toppled it. Valdirian Palace is now Black Scale Palace. He basically has an intimate knowledge of a lot of the interior stuff, and he has experience leading troops, which is something that you could probably use.
I mean, I will admit that my profession did not exactly encompass leading troops that had beneath me, so it might be nice to have somebody to do the dirty work. Are we in on an infiltration mission? You two ninjas and, well, I suppose just me, isn't it?
I'm literally tied to a fucking cart.
It's true, he is still tied to the cart. He can't really participate in the mission until he gets untied.
Ira comes back around to the front of the cart. It looks like she's about to take the ropes off, and she just holds his pants out for the hand to crawl back up and latch back onto hers. And she's like, all right, and walks away.
You do that. Kane, now that you're tied to it, your Zaratan walks over and uses one of its claws very daintily to actually cut the ropes that are holding you. You are now free.
I am gonna hit Gregor with the back of my gun.
Roll for attack. He's not expecting it because he was busy doing something else at the moment. He didn't realize that you were freed.
Okay, so 17.
I'm going to say that's enough. So that's going to be 1d8 damage to the back of his head.
That's also going to double.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's go!
You rolled 6 damage on that, so like he said, that will crit, so that's going to go up to 12. You give a mighty blow to the back of his head, and from the front, basically what it looks like is he's busy kind of just, smirking to himself at 1 second, and then as soon as the impact happens, his eyes roll back into his head, and he immediately flies forward and goes face first into the sand. He is very unconscious.
I'm gonna go over to his body, grab my hand, stick it between my butt cheeks, and then I'm just gonna rub it all over his face.
I'm not going to make you roll to do that because he's unconscious. You just do that. He's not going to know about it until after he wakes up. Before he was brutally knocked unconscious, Gregor did mark the location on your map. So it's kind of a little ways away from the south shore. So you're going to have to go south or go to a port, the nearest port. and then sail from there. Because, like I said, it is an island, so it's in the middle of the ocean. But
So-
you do have a location.
In that moment, I was going to use sleep on Kermit.
So,
Okay.
Kane, if you want to roll a Constitution save to make sure you don't go to sleep.
Oh, that probably wasn't very good.
Yeah, no. So you get halfway done, basically. Like, you have your butt cheek smears all over your hands, and as you're about to touch his face, you just start getting very, very drowsy, and you just fall into the sand and doze off next to him.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly smear his own shit on his face, and I'm going to drag him into the carriage.
Well, he's unconscious for a minute, so you can do that without a roll.
what?
I'm not going to make you roll for smearing crap all over his face. I will make you roll for dragging him in because that's technically a strength roll. You are able to quickly enough drag him into the wagon before he regains consciousness.
Like, quick, go, let's go. 5.
Here's my question, though. What do you have pulling the wagon? Because Art sacrificed all his undead creatures.
I'm just sitting there casually in the passenger seat, twiddling my thumbs.
I'm going to look at her. Do something.
Do what? I'm not going to pull it.
I'm just going to peer at Sarah like,
All right. As you lean out and summon the skeletal steeds she's getting from her lich training,
Okay.
alright.
strap them into their harnesses and shit, and she comes back. She says, "Are you happy now?" She snaps her fingers to have the horses start pulling the carriage.
I'm going to say thank you.
You're welcome.
The horses begin pulling the carriage, so you can control where they go. As far as local seaports go, one of the closest ports is Fort Deathwing, which is to the west.
So, how much bullshit can I get away with, Mike? Because I'm about to ask.
How much
really dumb shit.
bullshit do you have? Let's ask that question first.
A lot of bullshit.
All
is
right,
what
we're
I
gonna
have.
go step by step through it, and I'll tell you what you can and can't.
I was gonna ask you, how close to shore is this island? Like, how long of a journey would it be, say, if you were in carriage?
It would probably be at least a day.
Okay, yeah, I can handle that.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was shape water and make a fucking bubble around the carriage and just drive the carriage along the ocean floor to the island.
The only person that technically needs a bubble is you, because Cham and Kane can breathe underwater. And your horses are undead. They don't need to breathe. How long can you do the spell for?
I can literally extend it ad infinitum.
Then yes, you can do that if you want to.
I have 17 turn undeads right now, which each of them I can utilize in an extend spell.
You could do 6, and you would have over a day. That should be enough. So again, you'd also have any extras if you would need to sacrifice. I'm going to have you do a ride roll to see how long it takes you to get there. So if you roll a base 10, it's 24. Anything above a 10 will be less time. Anything below a 10 will be more.
And you know what? I actually took ride skill because it's literally required as a fucking bone daddy. Hell yeah.
Okay, so it's going to take less time. So it's going to take, I'm going to say it takes 20 hours instead of 24. So basically what happens is so you guys are riding towards the shoreline. I'm asking you actually a question to this because you're technically driving. Did you relay any of this information to those two?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
not.
So they don't know what's about to happen. So Arch, you're just driving towards the shoreline, and then immediately the horses start hitting the water, and you start going underwater. Kane and Cham, inside of the wagon, water begins pouring through the door at a very rapid rate, and the room begins filling. You can both breathe underwater, but you do find this odd.
Where's Gregor?
Gregor is back at camp, unconscious.
Fuck,
in
I
the
was going to
stand.
use him to plug the hole.
Also, you smell shit.
Oh, I see. I'm not going to
So-
do anything. If everybody else is just going to die, then I'm fine with it.
So Syra uses her spell and forms a bubble around the wagon after it's below water. So you guys don't get any more water in the bubble. The water that's there kind of drains out, but you guys look out the window and you see what looks like sea life swimming by.
Yo, is that a fish?
I'm gonna get on top of the carriage.
All right, you get on top of the carriage. You see Syra just very calmly manning the undead horses.
Enjoy the view.
Oh, well, then I'm just going to hit the gritty.
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to start dancing.
Pull out my pipe, pour some green dragon in it.
Are you going to fishbowl the air bubble?
He's about to fucking hotbox my air bubble that I'm in.
Oh no, just enough to pack
Take a fat hit, pussy.
pack a pipe.
He's not going to hotbox the fishbowl, so you can do that. Roll Constitution. Ooh, okay. So you're doing good. You're doing fine. You're buzzed along. You're watching the outside world kind of just pass you by.
Hold out the pipe towards Sarah.
She's definitely gonna wave it off. Absolutely not. I'm driving. Do you want to have the ocean collapse? I don't trust you to swim me to the surface. What are you, high? Well, yes, but still.
No, I'm buzzed.
Consider designated driver for now, alright?
Kane has shifted over into doing the Macarena.
But I'm gonna
Is
like
he-
not know the word, so I'm just like.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I just know the hey Macarena. That's literally it.
You guys are going on. So as you guys are going through the water, the sun goes down. So as the sun goes down, you see all the bioluminescent life that's below the ocean. It's very, very beautiful to see going through it. It looks kind of like everything's like a neon sign almost. All right, so you guys eventually get to the area where the island is. So you see what appear to be chains that are attached to stones that are at the bottom of the ocean. The chains go up, and as you look up, you see that it appears that there are black balls that are floating at the surface of the water attached to the chains.
Or
Well,
is
you
it
guys
just
can
me
point it out to me. Do you not want to tell me about it?
You may want to tell the person driving because in case they don't see it.
It's tempting. I am tempted to not say anything.
If you don't say
But-
anything, I'll have him roll.
Do
but
it. Do it.
I will tell him. I will warn him.
So it's like, so likely those chains are to keep the mines from floating away in the current. And all I'm saying, and she looks at Curtis and kind of leans towards him, it would be terrible if somebody who could cut through pretty much anything were to wreak havoc on the Black Scale Fleet by releasing a bunch of mines in what they think is a safe harbor. Wouldn't it be terrible?
I'm thinking, all right, get close to the chains, and I'll just lean over and just swipe at it.
You could just swim that. All right, I guess I can steer towards them.
Fine. I'll just jump out of the bubble and I'll start swimming, just start cutting all the chains I can find.
Roll a swim check just to see how gracefully you... I'm not going to make you roll to attack each individual one because they're stationary targets. So you swim through in like a zigzag formation, and you basically kind of just take out the Darksaber and slice, and just like that, 5 of the mines are now loose. Now, there is a little bit of a current around the island, so the mines slowly start to drift. Now, I'm going to roll a d20 to see how hard this goes. All right, so that's a 10, so it's on average. So 2 out of those 5 mines are going to impact another mine and explode. Now, when those explode, that's going to be the interesting part, because we're going to see if these will actually be able to, if they have enough explosive power, and if they're close enough to actually chain. So 2 of them blew up. Oh, boy. There was a small bunch of ships that were around the general area.
There were.
So-
Keyword word.
There were, yes. Now not so many. So there were 4 total ships that were within range of the island. When this explosion happens, those ships are relatively close to where the mines are. So as the mines explode, they then also sever some of the chains for the other mines, launching them into the air and eventually having them land near or on the various ships. The ships then explode, and you just basically watch a fireworks show from the other area. You also see what appears to be alarms going off on the exterior wall of the prison.
I was going like, ooh, pretty, as I swim over back to the carriage.
It does look very pretty from below water. So you guys are back at the carriage.
That should be a distraction.
Yes, I enjoyed the light show, she points up at the surface.
As you're looking up at the surface now, you can see the corpses of the Dragonborn floating down, being weighed down by their armor, some of them still suffocating.
Okay, you can't just say that. You know what's gonna happen.
I know very well what's going to happen, but, I mean, there are bodies. Roll a
And
search
start-
check to see how many.
Alright. You bitch.
So there are 11 bodies that you can see that are floating.
They're just like gently drifting down. As they're touching down, she's like, touch, fell, animate, and just bringing the dead back to life.
All right, you roll the bubble through, and you now have 11 Dragonborn zombies that will do your bidding.
Excellent. We should probably use these as bodies for our assault, not for fun things, right? Remake the centipede train using Dragonborn corpses and send it up the hill towards the base.
Let's do it, because it's gonna give it an intimidation factor.
We still need to have the search rolls for the cave, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm not seeing shit, which makes sense, because it's dark.
Ooh.
Yeah, no
Oh.
fucking clue.
Oh my god, what are you guys' rolls?
All right, that's enough. I'm gonna tell you guys about the cave, and then as soon as I tell you guys about the cave, Arch, then we'll go to your shenanigans. Cham, you're the only one that apparently has good enough eyesight to spot this, but you do spot what looks like a dark cave at the bottom of the seabed. So you point that out to Syra and make sure that she knows what direction to go in. So you're pointing in the right direction. Now, Arch, you can do what you want to do. You can describe this because you already sent it to me. And like I said, everything will work. I'm just going to need to make rolls for some of the Dragonborn when the time comes.
As the bodies drift down, they get fell animated and they march into each other and they start latching into each other in like the grossest tendons ripping off, whipping around each other, sucking the other ones back into a mass. And it turns into this pendulous, horrifying centipede monster that crawls along the bottom with like multiple Dragonborn heads. And it shoots up like insanely quickly. And the whole time, Syra is at the front of the carriage with her gauntlet held in front of her like fucking Thanos getting ready to do the snap. And it's glowing because she's literally like directing this fucking undead creature. And it crawls up over the fucking mountain that we see in front of us that's actually the island leading up to the castle, crests out of the water, lands amidst the fucking barracks and starts just tearing shit. And the whole time she's casting spells through the gauntlet, through the fucking centipede, to keep it alive until enough people come to deal with it. And when there's enough around her, she casts Banshee Wail, which is one of her new necromancer spells, which literally just kills anything that hears it.
So here's the way this is going to work. I am going to roll to see how many Dragonborn respond to this incident and how many are going to go into the courtyard and try and fight this thing. That's a lot of Dragonborn. All right, so I'm going to say that there's about 50 Dragonborn that filter their way down in there before that Banshee Wail goes off. Once it does, none of them have above 150 health, so all of them immediately drop dead.
An addendum to that. Can I fell animate that?
Well, you can cast through the undead, so yes.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just going to basically make like a fucking infinite centipede, a Tamagotchi basically, that just fucking eats everything after it kills it.
I'm going to put just enough green dragon where I won't get high, but it will give me a buzz just so I can enjoy this.
So yeah, so you're just enjoying the show basically, and you're just kind of watching him do what he does. Now the thing is that Arch, what I'm going to have happen is because you're just kind of repeating that cycle, I'm going to say that cycle is going to repeat itself probably every 15 minutes. So while you guys are doing this, I'm just going to say you're auto-casting this every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes of what I deem to be in-game time, I will roll a d20 for to see how many get added to how many centipedes get added to that hellscape.